And speaking of the 80s, we have a returning guest, very special guest, good friend of mine and comic extraordinaire from, I forget what state you're in. Nashville. Stevie
Las
D.
Vegas. What's up, buddy?
Nash Vegas, baby. What's going on, Stevie D? It's been a
Oh,
while since
man.
we had you on the show.
Still blow it drying my hair, still driving the Trans Am. Nothing's changed, baby.
Just like
Living
the
like it's
80s, baby.
living like it's 1989. Always, buddy.
And I always forget your book. I didn't forget it. I forgot to mention it, but we're going to mention it now. You're
All right.
author of the book of the Trans Am
Diaries. Trans Am is in the
Diaries.
car. Not like Trans I Am. It's Trans Am. It's a car.
Trans Am Diaries.
That's it.
The book, can be purchased on Amazon, right? And
Yep.
is it a New York bestseller yet, or is it just a Nashville bestseller?
It went to Amazon #8, memoirs, so anything is possible. I like to say I can barely read a book, but I wrote a book that went to #8, which is amazing. Something crazy happened recently, though. You've heard about all the storms in the South, all this craziness, which I'm convinced God is trying to scare all of us Californians out of here. Go back to where you came from,
Go back.
Even though I was born in Kentucky, I was in LA forever, and I married an LA girl and brought her to this small town, as John Cougar says. But
You
I
bastard.
I was supposed to do a book show last week, and my publisher said, "Hey, Stevie, we had a huge storm, tore the roof off the warehouse. They lost 180,000 titles of books, wiped out.
Oh, man.
So if Amazon doesn't have it right now, you got to wait till another printing." Yeah, man.
Oh,
it's crazy. So I like to say I'm out of books, fresh out, sold out.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Well, there's a wait list for the book. And you mentioned that you can barely read a book, but you wrote a book. You're not the only one. That's a very large group of people there.
Not you, man. You're a doctor, baby. You're a doctor.
Yeah, I think Kim Kardashian hasn't even read a book, and she's written a New York Times bestseller. Now, did you do what she did? Did you sit there and buy a bunch of them yourself and give them away?
Here, give me a good review. That's a good idea. I'm going to do that on the next one.
You get a book. You get a book.
If you give me a good review.
If you give a good review, a free book. Now, tell people again, what's the book about for our newcomers out there that are tuning in to you for the first time?
Yeah, so I had a crazy life, as you know, Dr. J. I grew up in Kentucky, super poor, welfare, all that stuff, But
you're white. You're a white guy. What?
I know.
You grew up poor on welfare?
The privilege of those food stamps, man. That fried bologna. But
so you were the first in line to fry bologna and the government cheese.
Cut the bologna so it doesn't curl up in a ball. You got to cut the edges, So yeah, it was funny. When I was like 12 or 13, I was eating a bologna sandwich, and I looked at it and said, "Man, this is poor people food." I'm like, I put it down. I said, I would never touch bologna the rest of my life, and I still, to this day, haven't. Same with, I don't eat hot dogs, bologna, any of that. But anyway, I grew up like super, super poor, which is all good. Single mom, three sisters. She was struggling, but I always knew, like, I'm better. You're better than your situation. If you believe in yourself, doesn't matter your circumstances, just go for the dream. Ignorance is bliss. So I went for it. I left 2 weeks after high school, following the dream, went to Florida, went to LA, did comedy forever. And then I found out I had cancer like 10 years ago. I was like, man, come on, cancer.
Poor and cancer?
It was that damn baloney. I knew it. But no, so it just inspired me to write a book and, tell my crazy story.
Now, you're a comedian. I met you at the in a comedy club via our good friend Mike Moreno, New Jersey's bad boy.
That's right.
You've been doing comedy ever since. You're in Nashville now, and coming up May 29th is going to be a big show for you. That is a Thursday? No, that is Thursday.
Thursday.
I'm going to the Dodger game May 31st when the Yankees come into town.
Okay, all right.
So I won't be able to make it. It's in Nashville, or is it on cable? Is it on where can people see it?
It's going to be at Zanies, which is the famous comedy club here. It's been here since like mid '80s. Every known comic in the world's done Zanies. They've got the monopoly on the comedy game. So I'll
Yes.
be there. I'm bringing the Stevie D party to Nashville with my buddy Court McCowan. So Court, you know him from all those 80s teen movies, Teen Wolf and all that. He always played like the jerk guy. So
Oh,
he's a
really?
comedian. Yeah, he's an actor, comedian.
He's a
Court,
comedian, that guy that played like
Court,
the Michael J. Fox nemesis in Teen
yeah,
Wolf?
Court
Oh,
McCowan. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So he's been doing comedy a long time. We're buddies from the Comedy Store there in LA. So
Mm-hmm.
he moved to Nashville, and so he and I putting something together with Zach Townsend. Um, Maybe John Christ is going to pop in. We've got TC Cope, and we mix a little music in. So we got Morris Strepa. So it's going to be music, comedy, same kind of party as I was doing in LA. Just now they get the Trans Am, they get the washer and dryer on the front porch, they get all those. I'm not messing up anybody's property values like I did out in LA.
Did you say stripper or stripper? What's that word you said?
What, should we add strippers to this? Is that what you're saying? No,
I
her
thought
name
you
is
said stripper. You said stripper?
Mora
What did you
Mora
Oh.
Mora Strepa.
Oh, more stripper. I said more
Yeah, yeah.
strippers. I was like,
I
oh,
may do a
okay.
strip at the end. Yeah, someone makes it rain in there. Maybe I'll do some twerking.
Now, Nashville, opposed to LA, is the comedy a little? Do they take the chains off a little bit? Because I'm against all this PC and comedy stuff. I mean, are you a little more free out there?
Dude, I was just at the gym, and I was watching a video popped up when I was interviewing my buddy Sam Tripoli. And Tripoli I produced something called the Rock Stars of Comedy. And it had Brett Ernst, Sam Tripoli, Whitney Cummings, Steve Byrne. Forgot who else is in there. Somebody else. A couple more are in there. But anyway, I was talking to Sam. I said, Sam, what is the number one joke I ask you to do? I said, what's the joke I ask you to close with? And he said, the handicapped stripper. I'm like, yeah, he did a joke about a wheelchair, a stripper in a wheelchair. Just so wrong. I said, dude, he's so canceled. Like,
is that right? He can't do it?
more of a career than I don't have a career to worry about.
Uh-huh.
I say you can't cancel feathered hair in a Trans Am, but yeah, he did that, and he did another thing called the sexy dance, where he
Uh-huh.
challenged like this obese guy, and it was a plant, obviously. He
Mm-hmm.
got up, and the guy took his shirt off and was like humping this woman. And we would take a woman out of the audience and start like humping her. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
me too would shut us down, buddy.
I was watching a documentary on Andrew Dice Clay, and he talked about how, everybody thought he was the end of the world. And he said, listen, none of my shows, no one got sexually assaulted. No one got raped. No one got beaten up at my shows. I didn't get accused of anything whatsoever of that. And now look where we are. And everybody thought he was going to be the end of it. And he never was. And he wasn't. It just got worse anyway.
Yeah. Well, you let them cancel one thing, and then they cancel the next thing. Cancel Pepe Le Pew. They cancel Bugs Bunny. You can't.
Yeah.
It's just jokes. I mean, look at the Don Rickles roast in the '70s, and
Oh,
Sanford
yeah. I
and
love
Son, and the
those.
Jefferson. All those, man. It's just jokes.
Yeah.
You make fun of your boys. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You bust each other's chops. I don't think we can swear on the show, but you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying. You bust each other's chops, and if someone doesn't, tease me about something, make fun of my hair or something, then I don't trust them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, listen, I would love to hear I would love to hear the joke about the handicapped stripper. Sounds pretty funny to me. And it reminds me, remember the show In Living Color? Damon
Exactly.
Wayans did a color called Handyman.
Yeah.
About a
Exactly.
handicapped superhero, which he brought over to the big screen with Blank Man. Because that's what
right.
Blank Man was. He was a special needs, a genius superhero.
Jim Carrey did the fireman, with his mouth in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm a father of two special need kids. And, I thought of my sons are autistic moderately, but very entertaining, very funny. I actually thought about, because I was in a filmmaking game, writing a show about my adventures of being a father with them and their friends. And I had some hilarious stuff there. And people were like, well, I don't know if you could do that. I think it would be great to know that they have like actual relationships and actual thought processes that make me laugh. And my sons make me laugh now. And it's part of their, their specialness that makes me laugh. So I'm like, well, how can it be bad? It makes me laugh. And I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing with them because one of my oldest son is so on everything. Everything you do. If you say you're going to do something, you better do it. If you say we're going to do something at 4 o'clock, we're leaving at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, let's go. And I wish more, I wish more people were like that to remind me, yes, you're right. It's 4 o'clock. Let's go. But you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it comes from love. I had a gay sister I used to talk about in my saying, you know, I was the only guy, 3 sisters and a mom. It's up to me to be the man of the house, but we already kind of had a man of the house, my sister Donna. And I said, you know, so I talk about my butch sister coming into my room in the morning and kicking the door open. Stevie, Mom said, get up, breakfast is ready. First we're going to wrestle. And she's going to wrestle me, and I'm blow drying my hair. I will burn you. Get the hell. But she loved it. Like she thought it was hilarious. You know, she came to see me at the Comedy Store once, and I was talking about her, and I said, "Oh, Donna's here tonight." And she stood up, waving, turned around. I go, "Hey, Meryl Streep, it's not the Academy Awards. Okay, we're good."
Yeah, right. It's almost like people who the joke is not about are offended for the people who the joke's about, and the people who the joke's about aren't even offended about it. So we've gotten to that point where we want to be offended for people. Yeah, we're talking with my good friend comic Stevie D. He's in Nashville at Zany's May 29th. Check him out and him and his friends out. Tickets are selling like hotcakes. Where can they go to get a ticket if they're in Nashville?
So we're at the new room in Zany's called The Lab. So we're at The Lab at Zany's. You can probably go on zanys.com. Also, what's that other ticket thing? But probably zanys.com.
So many of them.
Take care of it. May 29th, The Lab. DVD and Court McCowan.
Well, we're not done with you yet. We're going to revisit it again. You're coming back after this break. Stevie D on the Strictly Business Show with me, Dr. J, the sexiest business show in the world on New HD Radio.